Hi. This part of the series of talks on one way to write a love poem is about getting what isn't the love poem out of your system. There's a poem on the Poetry Foundation website, last I checked, called Hate Poem. And I wish I could remember who wrote it. Um, it's basically just what the title sounds like. And it seems to me like it may have been very cathartic for the author. And this is just a guess. I have no idea. But the author might have been in a very happy relationship, but just had these feelings come up that needed to come out. And they came out in the poem, maybe rather than being expressed to their partner. And I don't know if that's true. Something that I believe is true is that no relationship is perfectly blissful all the way through, that there can be negative feelings that anybody in a romantic relationship can have toward their partner. And I don't believe it really says anything about them or about the partner. It's just stuff that life can bring up or bring to the surface. And if your heartstorming was the most in depth or thorough or intense writing about your relationship that you've ever done, or even if it wasn't, it could be that some things came to the surface that don't seem or feel to you like blissful, positive, healthy, helpful, romantically loving things to say. And I believe it's helpful to get those things out, partly to get them out of the way so that they don't sneak into the poem and put barbs into the poem or irony, sarcasm, anything like that. And it's also a helpful opportunity to do some cathartic writing, I believe, um, that might not have anything to do with your beloved, or it might, but it could be that there are things that the writing process has brought up to or toward the surface that it could help you to explore more outside of the love poem. And there are, I believe, lots of ways to do that that can be really helpful, really effective. The main thing, I believe, is to dedicate some space and time to getting things out in writing or in another way, maybe, um, that working on this poem have brought to the surface that it's better not to have in the poem itself. Simply journaling without any kind of restriction can be a really helpful way to do that. Um, Trying writing other poems that are not for the beloved, that might not be for anybody at all or anybody in particular, can be a good way to do that too, I believe. And those can lead to other writing. that can be helpful for you and that you might want to share with others down the road too. Um, I believe anytime the act of exploration that is a poem has begun, there are lots of possibilities that come up. So, getting any of that out that you can, in any way or ways that you can, outside of the love poem, can be helpful for at least a couple of reasons, I believe. And again, finding unexpected negative feelings toward the beloved, I believe, is just a sign of being human. It doesn't say anything about the quality of the relationship. Um, and it definitely doesn't mean that it's dishonest to write a love poem that doesn't have those things in it. Um, that, cathartic honesty, letting things out, um, I personally believe is really only helpful to the other person when there's nothing hurtful or negative or barbed or sarcastic about it. And it might be helpful if you have a friend who you routinely share things with to share whatever you've gotten out of your system that's not going in the love poem. And that can be a helpful way to just not be carrying it around inside, not be feeling like, it's something that's surfaced and is now kind of a block between you and your beloved. And so that can be a good thing to do if that's most helpful to you. If it's helpful to you to throw away or delete whatever you've gotten out of your system, or who knows, burn it if that's helpful. Um, I believe the main thing is just to understand that this process of writing a love poem can bring other things to the surface, and that's totally okay and even good. It's part of the power of poetry, I believe, and it means that not only are you human, but you have tapped into poetry's potential for deep honesty, and that's a very good thing, I believe. And Shakespeare, um, to me, shows why this can be an important and a helpful thing to do. In another one of his sonnets, and I'm afraid I can't remember which number it is, but if I remember right, it starts out, uh, "My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun," and there's a line about how her hairs look like black wires on her head, something like that. Her breath reeks. All of this stuff that's, you know, um, that I'm guessing and hoping that he didn't actually share with his partner, which would maybe have been his Anne Hathaway, I believe was his wife for most of his life, if I remember right. Um, so taking time like this, I believe, can make it so that things like that don't sneak into the love poem that you're trying to write. And that can be also, lost my train of thought. It can also be a helpful way to get things out, and that's a healthy thing in itself. Thanks.